Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to the very first, the premiere, the kickoff version of Upper Left Tech, a newly launched podcast. My name is Lars Phillips. I'm here with my co-hosts Dave Welty and Jordan Edwards. And really, Dave, when you got the idea to start this very first podcast, Upper Left Tech, give me kind of the rundown of your thoughts as to what you wanted to get out of this podcast.
Lars, over the years, as you know, Jordan knows, everybody in this firm knows that we interface with tech leaders each and every day. And part of our job from within the financial planning community is really to get to know people, understand them. And throughout that process, what do? We get to hear stories. We get to hear personal stories. We get to hear what people's journey was. Where did you come from? Did you come from the Midwest? Did you come from Florida? Are you local? Are you from the Pacific Northwest and you just happen to end up working at this little company called Microsoft, right? And it's those stories that I find to be unique. They're authentic. And I thought it'd be really cool to share some of these stories with other folks within the community.
Absolutely. And speaking of people coming from around the country to the Pacific Northwest, Jordan, you actually are not originally from the Pacific Northwest, but you made your way here a couple of years ago, right?
That's true. I'm a transplant. I was originally from Texas, so I always tell people around here not to hold that against me. But ended up moving up here about 4 years ago for a variety of reasons, personal and professional. Couldn't get away from the heat fast enough. Love being near the mountains. There's nowhere else in the world where you can go ski and then come back down to Seattle and be around for sunny lake weather at the same time. And it's just a wonderful place up here. And I love working with people in the tech community. They've got really interesting needs. And it's really fascinating to hear their stories. And as Dave mentioned, a lot of them are transplants like me. Some of them are more like Lars, who is a Ballard native, Mr. Norway. Why don't you tell us about your story?
Yeah, so I've been here in the greater Seattle area for my entire life. For those of you in Seattle, you know that Ballard is very much the Norwegian hub, the Scandinavian cultural hub of the area. And, with a name like Lars, I feel like I definitely fit a number of those stereotypes pretty darn well. I went to Ballard High School, and so did both of my parents. So my upper left Seattle roots are certainly, deeply ingrained in who I am. And I don't ever plan on leaving the area. I suppose anything's possible, but this is home, and this always has been home for me. And Dave, you've been here for, essentially the same amount of time that I have, but you're not originally from the upper left portion of America.
That's right, Larson. That's a great way to make me feel really old. That's right. I've been up here since you were born.
Amen to that.
I moved up here, I think, in 1988. Was living in Los Angeles and was fortunate enough to get a job with Abbott Laboratories. They moved me up here. And almost immediately, I realized this was home. This is where I wanted to be. Like Jordan said, the Pacific Northwest offers some very unique opportunities for those of us that love the outdoors. There's few places in the world where you can do the things that we can do and live the kind of life that we live up here. So, I've been up here for a heck of a long time. Delighted to be up here.
We'll tell you what, to both Jordan and Dave sitting beside me here, I'm really excited to hear a lot of really cool stories from Upper Left Tech folks, and I'm excited to explore kind of where we go with this podcast. And any final sign-off words here for us today?
I would just say, and I'd like to emphasize this, these are going to be journeys. We want to hear, what was your journey? What worked well for you? What would you have done differently? Now that you've found success, what do you want to do with that success? For some people, quite honestly, it's about making money. They came here, they've worked hard, they've paid their dues, they've paid the price a lot of times with time away from family. They're now getting paid for it. And hey, that's their satisfaction, and that's okay. But there are other folks out there that have also had a journey that is filled with, boy, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that, or maybe this career track would have been a little bit better. But now that I've had my successes, there are things within the community I want to do. There's areas that I want to give back to. We want to hear all of it. So we want this to be authentic. We want it to be real. and we look forward to hearing from you and your story.